Police say an Illinois man used artificial intelligence to create pornographic images of a Lisbon teenager. Well, tonight, prosecutors are using a new charge against the man in a test for state courts. 12 News' Nick Bohr is in Waukesha County.
It's a law that's barely been on the books a year, but prosecutors are using it against a 20-year-old man accused of using AI to virtually undress a 15-year-old girl he knew. As much as AI is heralded for its potential in medical research and many other fields, there is also a dark side. In 2024, Wisconsin became one of 45 states that criminalize AI-generated child pornography. Aidan Brewis of Illinois is now charged with 3 counts of possession of virtual child pornography after his girlfriend found it on his phone and reported him. Prosecutors say he manipulated Instagram photos of a 15-year-old Waukesha County girl using AI to depict her naked.
When I first
Here we go. Here's the dark side of AI. The dark side of AI is starting to creep its heads from under the covers. 20-year-old guy from Illinois. Sounds like this happened in Wisconsin. And he used AI to generate, explicit photos of a 15-year-old. And his girlfriend seen the photos in his phone, and she's the one who reported him and turned him in. That's not the purpose of what AI was made for. And again, there's going to be people who are going to use AI for all types of things. I mean, you see the images on X where Grok is being told to do certain things as far as put this person in this situation, remove this and that. And I had did a video on people, the outrage as far as Grok is concerned. But I mean, these creepy weirdos are going to start using AI to do this type of stuff, man. And hopefully this sets a precedent as far as like them facing some type of judicial punishment for these type of acts, because it's definitely a crime. It's definitely an invasion of people's privacy, and you're definitely trying to exploit the teen with doing this type of stuff. It's something that I'm currently studying right now with pursuing my cybercrime, my cybersecurity degree. And in one of my cybercrime classes, this is sexploitation, using the internet to exploit people, and the creation of child pornography and stuff like that is one of the downsides or one of the dark sides of this whole AI technology revolution that's going on right now. So
first heard about it becoming a law, it struck me that this is unconstitutional.
Criminal defense attorney Anthony Cotton isn't representing Brewis, but has another client facing the same charge.
What if you're a talented artist and you draw a picture that's very good, that maybe looks like it's a child? They could never criminalize you for drawing a picture, but somehow it becomes a 3-year mandatory minimum felony because a computer does it? No way.
now, he's a defense attorney, so of course he's going to have that type of point of view. My question would be is, what if it was your daughter who was the subject of those photos that was AI generated? And now, how would you still have that same opinion as far as this whole thing? If it was actually your child, it's not one way to look at anything, but I just wonder if it was his child, would he also have that same opinion on this whole situation? But he's a defense attorney again, so defense attorneys have to be naive to a lot of things as far as morally, because they're trying to defend their client, and he's not the attorney for this particular guy, but he does have a client who's in a similar situation.
The site Brewis is accused of using specifically states, quote, you can't use others' photos without their consent or if they are minors.
And it clearly states it But these are the type of screens where people just quickly click agree and just keep moving, and even if they read it, they don't really care, you know. But it clearly states you can't use others' photos without their consent, or if they are minors. You know, it clearly states that.
And, quote, you are solely responsible for the content you generate.
So that's how the companies separate themselves from liability, is by having these type of statements, and you either agree or you go back and you don't agree. But you know, these are the terms that they have set up in order to distance themselves from liability from this type of thing.
You generate.
A lot of
Still,
rules of this. It
Cotton
really
says
feels
that
like
shouldn't
none
clear
of the
them of
hikers cared about this.
responsibility.
Why the hell aren't they prosecuting the companies that create the programs that do it? Like, shut this down and go after the companies creating AI programs that can produce this disgusting content.
I did speak with Brewis' attorney, Jonathan Lavoie, this afternoon, but he said he couldn't comment on the active case. At the Waukesha County Courthouse, Nick Bohr, WISN 12 News.
Yeah, of course he can't comment because he's you know, busy trying to come up with a defense here for his client. But yeah, I mean, you know, there's going to be people who are going to go on the dark side and use AI to, you know, do the wrong things, and this is one of those situations. And you know, he's not the first that I've done a story on of this type of this nature. And I did a story in like a few months ago when I first started putting videos out where um someone had did a false police report, and they used AI photos to kind of place a criminal, or someone who was, you know, said they had broken into their house. They created those photos using AI. So I don't know what people are thinking, man. But you know, you're gonna have these weirdos out here who are gonna use AI for their own pleasures, and you know, some gonna fall through the cracks, some gonna get caught like this individual was. But we'll see. What a lot on this is gonna rely on what happens as far as a judgment in this whole situation. So that the judgment is gonna definitely set a precedent as far as future punishments for things of this nature. You know, we have to protect our minors, that's for sure. And I'm sure if that young lady knew that, you know, her photos on the internet was going to be used for something like this, she wouldn't have consented to it. No one would consent to that. So unless, you know, you're old enough and you're into those type of things. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Again, this is going to set a precedent on this whole, you know, AI and generating photos type of thing. And we'll see if the company is also held liable in some type of civil suit or something like that as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video here. It's pretty much all the information we got from this whole thing, and we'll see, you know, what becomes as far as the results of this situation. If you like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.